Everybody, yes, I know it's been, geez, I think it's been almost a month since I uploaded my last video, and yeah, everything's fine. Just took a little break during the holidays and the new year, and frankly, the weather's been kind of terrible for the last few days, but I do have some updates on what's coming to the garage. I took a trip to Detroit to check out the new Mustang GTD for a special spec session. A lot of stuff's under NDA, but I will talk about what's going on with the GTD, and I just submitted my new ZR1 order in, and I'm gonna chat about ordering both those cars, and we do have some racing coming up. Next up, we got Tesla Plaid versus SF90 video down the half mile. I just took out the McLaren today. Top down weather, it was like 50 degrees this morning, and we took this out to a car show, and it was just awesome. But today, I'm gonna take the Porsche Turbo S out, and I am gonna do some testing on this too. We gotta take this down the drag strip because I have not had it down an official drag strip. So we got some Bradenton rentals coming up. I got a Porsche Taycan Turbo GT coming, and we're gonna race that versus the Tesla Plaid and probably, hopefully, the Lucid Sapphire. Let's jump in the Turbo S and talk about the ZR1 and the Mustang GTD. All right, so Turbo S on cold startup sounds pretty good. The valves close and it gets pretty quiet. There we go. And now it's actually pretty quiet. You can't get a valve control for this to keep the valves open all the way. I'm thinking about doing that. And I also thinking I want to tune the Turbo S as well and add, I think you could add like 150 horsepower from just a tune. But you know me, I want to get the best quarter mile time stock out of this I can. And I think we're gonna take it to Bradenton. And I think I can get a 10.0, 10.1, maybe, just maybe, if all the conditions are met, this could crack off a 9.9. Geez, the Turbo S in Guards Red just pops. I love the spec on this. Black roof, black Dock Lost back spoiler, and the silver badging in the back. Interior, if you guys haven't seen the Turbo S before on the channel, we got the cloth textile seats with the red stitching and Alcantara steering wheel. Let's jump inside. We gotta talk about ZR1 GTD Mustang. All right, dude, I gotta say, the Turbo S, you know, this is my first Porsche, and it might be one of the best daily driving sports cars there is. I think I'm gonna do a video comparing the daily driving abilities of a Turbo S versus Tesla Plaid, because these are basically my two daily drivers. I got like 1,600 miles already on the Turbo S, probably about 3,000 on the Tesla Plaid. And this car's just awesome. This thing's hitting 0 to 60 in like the low 2-second range. It's just nuts. And the turbos come on. This thing's got just so much torque. It is a lot of fun to drive. Sound can be a little better, of course. Even when you do exhaust on these things, they don't sound that good either, but it is what it is. All right, so let's start with the Ford Mustang GTD. I was invited to Detroit, and all of it's under NDA. I can't really discuss what happened up there, what we were doing, but basically, in summarize, it was a specification session to configure the Mustang GTD. Can't go over pricing. We do know that the base price, which was publicly disclosed, is $329,000. And of course, there's gonna be a ton of options. One of those options is obviously, since it's built to Multimatic, is going to be paint to sample. As you saw previously, they did release the special edition. That is called the Spirit of America GTD, which is white with a blue and red stripe, custom interior, and big Mustang logo against the underneath the back wing. And I do know the price on that, I can't say it, but let's just say it's expensive. And they're gonna produce probably a bunch of those. So, you know, if you go with the special edition, yeah, it's super cool. You probably get a lot included in that price. However, there's gonna be a lot of people with the same exact car. So for me, I think we're going to paint to sample. I'm gonna submit a couple of requests. I'm not sure they could do every possible color, but we're looking at like a Gulf blue, maybe a Grabber orange, or even a Napier green. I really like that color on my McLaren 765 LT Spider. Hopefully I can talk more about what's coming with the Mustang GTD, but I believe we're gonna see cars being delivered second or third quarter of this year. And I'm pretty early on the list here. Went to Detroit, met with the Mustang GT Concierge team. Everything was super cool. And right now we're just working on the final specification, but I don't even think I could talk about that because The configurator that we have is behind password, just not really sure what I can really talk about. But we do know base price is $329,000. And now we can talk about the Corvette ZR1. My ZR1 order is actually locked in and submitted to Chevy. Now Chevy's not doing the VIP program like they were before. They gave away, I don't know, 4 or 5 cars to influencers, and all the influencers sold their car really quickly before they were supposed to. Now I've had my Z06 a year and a half still, and I didn't get it as part of that program, and I still have my Z06, so I'm not a flipper. I'm hoping, you know, maybe the roll of the dice, whatever happens. My order's in with Whitmoyer, and that's also where I'm buying the Ford Mustang GTD from. So maybe I'll get an early car. That would be super awesome. But the spec I decided to start with, and these orders have to be in, I think, by February 6th, is I'm pretty much going with what I have on my Z06. So I did the yellow exterior, and I did the black stripes, and then I went back and forth between getting the Aero and not the Aero, and a coupe and the convertible. I really like the look of the coupe with the split window, rear window, and obviously it's lighter. However, you know, I'm not going to drag race this car that often. It's really for my Tennessee house for the canyon roads. So I think I'm just going to go with the convertible, deal with the extra weight. I know you lose some of the extra kind of cooling and stuff like that. And then the question is, do you add the Aero or not? When I bought my Z06, I couldn't get the Aero package on there, so I didn't get it. So I kind of have the low drag version of the convertible. But in this case, since it is available, I think I'm gonna go with the carbon fiber exposed Aero package, that ZTK, and the convertible with the black stripes and the same kind of suede interior. So I think it's gonna look super cool. One of the other things you have to decide on is the wheels. And I was advised that the carbon fiber wheels for the ZR1 are not gonna be available to start. So I'm either going with the machine finished or the black. And I don't know, maybe my Z06 wheels will fit, my Z06 carbon wheels will fit on the ZR1. Any of you tech guys out there with all the specifications of the ZR1, let me know if you think those wheels will fit. Maybe I'll just swap them off when I get them, or wait for the carbon wheels to become available so I can buy them later on for the ZR1. So pricing for the ZR1, base price is roughly half the price of the Mustang GTD, which is crazy because we're getting 250 horsepower more on the ZR1 versus the GTD. And I understand the GTD is a limited car. I think they're only making like 1,000 of them, and they're gonna make as many as they can of the ZR1s, but they're gonna come out slow. I think they're not gonna build a lot to begin with, like the Z06 is gonna trickle out. I think a lot of dealers are gonna try and get a lot of money over for them. One just sold the Bear Jackson for $3.1 million. Obviously that was for charity, so we really can't count that. But luckily, my dealer Whitmoyer is not charging over MSRP for either GTD or the ZR1, so I'm kind of locked in at a good price no matter what. Now, after I added up all the options on my car, the ZR1's coming in at about $215,000. So we got a convertible, 1,064 horsepower, high Aero kit, looks wicked, gonna be super, super fast. They're saying 9.5 or 9.6 at over 150 miles an hour in the quarter mile. And I'm sure the current convertible won't be much slower than that. So this is gonna be an incredible, incredible car. Now we're at a stoplight in the Turbo S. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little launch here. We got the Sport Plus button right here. When you press this, it gives you like a 15-second time. I'm gonna do a video later on whether the Sport Response button does anything or not, like before, with and without, and so forth. $60. This thing's pretty fast. I can't wait to get this out on the track and do a little quarter-mile test. Tons of torque in this car. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. Twice the price for the Mustang GTD versus the Corvette ZR1. And I got some decisions to make because I think the options on the GTD are going to be pretty expensive. And I think people might be surprised at how expensive the car can really get when you get down to adding all the really, really cool options for the GTD. All right, so let me know in the comments what you think. GTD, ZR1, and if you want Chevy to get me an early car, drop in the comments, say Chevy, drag times, early car, ZR1, let's go. Because last time, man, I think after the cars came out, I think I got mine maybe 8 or 9 months later. It definitely took a while. It might just be a roll of the dice when my dealer gets a car, but nevertheless, I'm super excited to get that car. Probably swap out the Z06 for the ZR1. The Ford Mustang GTD, that's an addition where I actually don't have a lot of more space in my garage. So I'm not sure where I'm going to keep that car. I know it's been a few weeks since the last video. Just want to give you all an update. Everything's good. We got more racing coming. We got the Tesla Plaid versus the SF90 Stradale Assetto Fiorano coming up next. And my friend Taras has a Taycan Turbo GT and just came in. He wants to race the Tesla Plaid. And I'm thinking I can get Brian out with the Lucid Sapphire. So it would be really, really cool to get those on the drag strip. I'll bring out the Turbo S and hopefully get the Revuelto out there as well. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next video.